All right, let me just see. It is recording. I have something in front of the screen there, so I couldn't see if the numbers were counting down. They are. Okay, I just wanted to go over a quick little video. If I turn away or something, it's the audio that counts more than anything else. Um, just talking about gas and gas prices. It's going to go up. And as I always communicate, look, the government exists to help protect us, keep us safe. Not always everybody agreeing upon how to do that properly, and the party system is really doing us wrong. Senator, that's a great idea. I would love to get involved with your bill. And it can help the people, and it's great for the people, but then it'll look like your side can get something done. And then it'll look like our side can't. So I'm going to go ahead and pass on that today. That's government today. It's not about the people. It's not about getting it done. It's whose agenda and whose party line. It's weird. Even the media has started to separate. Started to, right? Yeah. As if it hasn't. Network. Have you ever seen the television series, the television movie, 1978? My God, it was a long time ago. I think right around there. Network. Mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Where they're talking about, if you get a chance, it's a great movie. Everybody should see that. It should be like the Christmas movie we watch every year. Okay, now, with that said, the government. It's not the government. If you do not like the government, vote somebody else in. It's about getting the people in that are going to serve the desires that the people want, and ultimately the most important, you can say whatever you want going in. How are we, the people, holding them accountable? That has been yet undetermined. I'm looking really forward to working those issues out of how do we hold people accountable once they're in office. Okay, so off to the side, we're talking about gas prices here and why. Look, I am the honest one. I'll communicate to you. Look, everybody has the voice in their head. The movie Will Ferrell's The Truth, Stranger Than Fiction, right, is the title, because there's a phrase called the truth is stranger than fiction. The truth is everybody's got the voices. The voices will want you to keep their secret. You want to know why this planet doesn't get along? Why gas prices are large and everything's inflated, and we have people can get along. I grew up in Los Angeles. Chinese, Russian, Afghanistani, Pakistani, you name it. I could probably find you a North Korean if you give me a couple hours. We have everybody. People get along. Why don't governments? It's because of what I'm about to go into here. People will get along. The aliens are doing multiple. What's going to work the best on controlling the human as they're still growing and learning to exercise love? Is it more of an authoritarian? Are we at a point where they can exercise freedom? Or is it more of a communist kind of thing? What's going to work? That's the different experiments that's happening around the globe. I pray to God we can see the value of democracy. Look, I'm a man of faith. I'm not talking religion. God is real. A whole nother subject that we can debate a whole nother time, which is a beautiful thing because it is scientific fact, I like to say. But with that said, the governments, we don't get along. Because, look, this is another word I want you to understand. We don't have enemies. We have an inner me. Okay? We don't have, please do not let that word go flying over your head. They just did something to my voice there. Don't let that word go flying over your head, right? They just did something literally to my vocal cords. Those who know. Okay, now I'm going to continue on. Governments exist because we don't have enemies, we have inner me. That does not make the aliens our enemy. Again, they're our inner me. There's a classic Milgram experiment, like the Stanford experiments of prison guards and the inmates assume the roles. Back in the 60s, they did other experiments where they pit children against each other because of the color of their eyes. Oh, those green-eyed kids are really taking a long time at the water fountain. Well, those blue-eyed kids, well, they left their trash on the thing. And they just pit these kids against because of the color of their eyes. That's racism. My God, we're all family. So we're moving forward here. They did an experiment that is known as the Milgram experiment. How many people will say no to an authority figure when they're asked to do the wrong thing or what they feel is the wrong thing to do? That's what's happening on this planet here. It's the classic Milgram experiment. You're told, look, nobody teaches you any different. On this, I'm out in the front with tears in my eyes. This is frontier territory, okay? I got gifted with understandings many levels above. I'm no better, no worse than anyone else. Thank you, Lord, for what I have. But I have been gifted with understandings. That's just a fact. And I know that love is the answer, and that's how I move forward, holding on to love, identifying what exists, making loving decisions to make this universe a more loving place. It's not about pitchforks and torches and pointing our finger at them. They're bad. They're trying to raise the human kitty cat. Imagine trying to herd all these little kitty cats that want to exercise their freedom of will any way they want. Freedom of will, right? That's why, see, the human is willing to do wrong to each other for the voice in their head to get what they want rather than just working for what they want. People know what I'm talking about. And that's why many levels above the second graders, right? Us being first graders, many levels above the second graders look at us as trolls and are allowed to be conned, and that's why it's called control. Because we still exercise our freedom of will, not so lovingly at times. So we, as people, have to educate each other, one, that the voices are true, that there are these aliens that are affecting our thoughts, desires, impulses, and cravings. Okay, we have to truly speak. If you want calm and unity, right? COMMUNITY, community. If you want calm and unity in your community, you have to communicate, and honestly. If you cannot honestly communicate that you have a voice in your head, we're in big trouble because, it's going to take a long time, not a long time. It will take about a half hour to explain this out. I'll do it in another video about why that is. Right now, I just want to break down some points. I'm already probably 10 minutes in or so. I don't even know. I can't see the numbers over there. I have this little thing holding the phone up. If you want common unity in your community, we have to openly and honestly communicate. So it's talking to each other. The other side is being told things about us, right? Russia's being told things about us by the voice in their head. Just like the voice in your head will tell you things about a family member, your neighbor, the other state, right? Oh, these people over here are doing that. They're trying to see if we're going to step up and communicate with each other rather than just believe the voice in the head and go off with, fists like, oh, well, I know what you're doing, right? And if you think you're getting understanding by being a jury from within, behind their eyes, any humans who know what I'm talking about, I don't do that, never have. But that's why it's called an injury, because you're going to get an injury towards the truth, thinking that you're getting all the information. They can stir up people. They can put thoughts in their head as well as your head as you're watching those other people. We have to educate each other on what's going on. It's for the kids. And if you want a brighter future for them, we have to start communicating. Look, the gas pumps are a price because there's cheaper ways to move around on this planet in like a vehicle is what I'm talking about. There's cheaper ways to do it, but we get taxes from gasoline, and that feeds the borders to help. Elon Musk has a tunnel boring company, and it bores through the ground, right through mountains. We're gonna bore through these doors and walls that are separating us when we learn how to communicate, and that's why it's called bore doors. Okay, we're gonna bore through these doors, all right? But we first have to step up and start communicating. Are we going to tell the authority figure, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to keep your secret You never have to admit anything you've ever done. I'm actually fighting for everybody's day of amnesty because of the nasty things you do. Amnesty, the nasty things you've done. So we have to have this day of amnesty, right? Don't fear. They want to hold a Damocles over your head over things you've done. So we have to have that day of amnesty so that everybody has a comfort. We move forward. Look, it's the real deal. This is about helping the children. So we pay exorbitant amounts to move in vehicles around the country and the planet when we can do it a lot cheaper. That's just what it is. But we have borders and we have governments that are at war. We are doing it like little children. When you pluck them off the tree, teach them how to fight. Infants, right? Infant tree. Do you understand that word? I'm not talking about the honorable, noble valor they teach these infantry people. I'm not talking about the individual, but how we're being used as a human race. Are like little babies is the level we're at, because they teach discipline in the military, they teach honor, they teach respect. So I'm not talking about the individual in the military of the infantry, but that's how we're being used as a people. And look, this is the real deal, and I want you to understand that because we don't communicate honestly and openly with all the different countries and share. God, I'm trying to give you everything in 10 minutes, but because we don't do it properly by being honest, right? That communication, that common unity, community. We have to pay extra to feed the governments to protect the borders when that's not even necessary. When we start getting along as beings, we can transition out of the econ on me and you. I can show you how to do that too. I got gifted with understandings, and I thank God for it. I'm a man of faith, not religion. I'm not against religion. What I love about religion is that they're helping people nurture a relationship with God. Not a bad thing. But there was some dangerous and controlling liberties taken there. I'm an honest man. So we move forward being honest. God is real, and that's just the truth of the universe. If you have the faith to believe an explosion can create itself, this universe and all the beautiful, diverse, loving life in it, you're this close to having the faith to believe that God could do the same thing. Now, if you know of an explosion that has created itself, this universe and all the beautiful, diverse, loving life in it, well, that is God. Okay? It's a scientific Vulcan logic fact. I'm not going to take it any further right now. God is real. We know this. Okay, it's chicken or the egg now. Is God an explosion? Well, are we becoming more loving over time or more explosive? You might say, you don't know my grandma. The aliens can sour up a person at time. Again, not to beat them up, but they use people in certain areas. But I'm talking about how we kill each other in war. Inhumane thing, Geneva Convention stuff. So we're growing in love. Even how we kill each other in war, we have grown in love. Inhumane, another word for unloving thing to do. God is real. We know this. Okay, so we're moving forward here. We have what is known as the petrodollar, right? That means all of our G8 friends, all of our buddies, before they can even get gasoline, if they want to buy gasoline, we agree that, hey, Big Brother USA, you got to buy our petrodollar, because we're no longer, gold-based, right? It's petrodollar. That's a very staple point of our econ on me and you. Which is required. It keeps roofs over the head and bellies fed, the econ on me and you, until we learn to get along. So again, we have to learn to start communicating honestly, common unity for a community. So when you have to fund that kind of thing, who pays for it? The people. We can do it a lot better, less inexpensive ways. Oh my goodness, so less inexpensive ways we can do it. But we as a people because we can't get along, because we can't communicate, we can't Milgram experiment, stand down the authority figure and say, you know what, keeping it simple, that's the angel shoulder side of them they'll tell you to do. Keeping their secret, that's just not right. When something good happens, you want to tell the world, hey man, I bought a boat. You know what? Taking the boat out. You want to tell the world. They're testing us to see, are we going to continue to just sell the kids into the enslavement? I hate to say it like that. Who taught you any different, right? What outside the box way have you been taught? You've been smashed by the voice, submit. You've been smashed by them. They grab you by the econ on me and you cojones, and then they're using that love to take care of your children and to put a roof over their head, to get you to do things. They'll take care of the landlord. They'll work on the boss. Now, that exists so that life is a school learning to love. Are we going to step up and know that it's wrong to keep their secret and still talk? Because they're obligated to you. This is another word. I got gifted with understanding towards language and words within words. When you look at something, you can say, oh, that's blue. There's icicles off that. That's cold. There's 5 of those. We're all the time pulling in information. So we observe something. They're behind our eyes. Observe. There are laws that gate them towards taking care of their human. They're obligated to you no matter what, whether you talk about them or not. And the level of abuse that you'll go through is proportional to the level of how often you are talking about it, how often you tell them no when they ask you to break the golden rule. That's another thing we have to start working on. But it's proportional. I'm running a life-a-thon. Every day getting smashed and kicked in the head. But I'll go through it. I know that that this planet requires this information. So with that said, I'm throwing a lot of information out. I just want you to know that we have to take care of the kids, and it's identifying. It's not going to change until we as a planet can start opening up and talking about it and becoming a community. And that's going to take communication. And it's going to take standing down the voice when they ask you to break the golden rule. What a challenge, huh? Woo! Talk about standing down the big boy. So, but they're obligated to you. Obligated. There are laws. Child protection services, these aliens are obligated. It surrounds them. Is your monkey fed? Is your human getting to work? Is your human have a roof over their head? There are laws. They are obligated. They have to adhere to these, whether you listen to them or not. I make decisions in life. I've never submitted and I never will. And I take my abuse for that, believe me. But with that said, it's a twisted relationship. I've been abused by them, but they also hold an obligation, and I hold a love for all, even them. I love all. Doesn't mean I love all they do, but I love all. Remember, they're obligated, and even if you talk about it, they are still obligated. They're going to tell you, we'll drop you like it's hot. What you want to understand, it's proportional too. So we have to educate the kids. The Student of Love is this channel. If you get a chance to see this, send it to everybody. Why not? Let's get it out there. I'll go through the pain out in the front with tears in my eyes to get this out. I'll go through whatever I have to. Remember, love is the answer, and we got to take care of the kids. Talking about it, the aliens are still obligated to you. God bless. Love to you. And please get this out. They're obligated. This is the real deal. If you want change, if you're tired of the financial struggles, we have to start communicating, because there's a way to do it outside of the econ on me and you. Thank you. Peace and love to you.